Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now folks, let's talk about the big picture, the kind of news that gets your heart racing, especially if you're a Falcons fan like myself. The NFL offseason is always filled with surprises, rumors, and potential game changers. But this one in particular has the potential to reshape the NFC South in a way we haven't seen in years. And trust me, it's not just speculation. There's real substance behind this story. We're talking about a young, talented player from the Cincinnati Bengals, Shemar Stewart, who's currently at the center of a storm that could drastically alter the landscape of the NFL, and more specifically, our division. So, let's set the stage. The Bengals, as you all know, have been trying to rebuild and strengthen their defense, but they've hit a bit of a rough patch with their first-round pick from this year's NFL Draft. Shemar Stewart, the number 17 overall pick in the 2025 draft, has been holding out, and that's not just a minor issue. It's a red flag, a sign that things might be spiraling out of control in Cincinnati. Stewart, a promising edge rusher with incredible athleticism and potential, is in the middle of a contract dispute. And the thing is, he's not just sitting idly by, he's furious, and reports suggest he might even refuse to sign any contract that the Bengals offer. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, for starters, Stewart is a rare talent. A player with his skill set, with 5 years of team control, doesn't come around very often. And for a team like Atlanta, which has been desperately trying to bolster its pass rush, this could be an absolute gold mine. Our defense has struggled for decades to put consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. We've drafted some promising players like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr., who are helping, but we all know that pass rush is a game changer, a key to winning championships. And if we could add someone like Stewart to that mix, it would be a massive boost. Now here's the twist. The Bengals are in a tricky spot. They want Stewart on the field, obviously. He's talented, cheap, and under team control for several more years. But if Stewart refuses to sign, and if negotiations stall, the Bengals might have to consider trading his rights. That's where the Falcons come into play. If we're smart, we should be making calls right now, trying to gauge what it would take to land Stewart. Because let's face it, a third rookie first-round pass rusher, that's a game changer for our defense. It would allow us to completely overhaul that unit, which has been a sore spot for so long. The question is, what would it cost? Well, Terry Fontenot, our GM, is no stranger to bold moves. He's already shown that he's willing to trade draft capital to get the pieces he wants, especially on defense. To land Stewart, he'd likely have to offer a significant package, maybe multiple first-round picks, perhaps even a player or two to sweeten the deal. But if it means acquiring a talent that could transform our pass rush for the next 5 years, it's a price worth paying. Imagine that, 3 first-rounders for a player like Stewart, who's still raw but has the potential to be an elite pass rusher in this league. And let's not forget, this isn't just about one player. It's about the division as a whole. If the Falcons manage to land Stewart, it could shift the balance of power in the NFC South immediately. The Saints are trying to rebuild, the Panthers are still figuring things out, but with Stewart and the right pieces, the Falcons could become a dominant force on defense. A young, ferocious pass rush would make our entire team better, more unpredictable, more dangerous. And for the fans, that's exactly the kind of excitement we crave heading into the season. But of course, it's not all straightforward. The key here is Stewart's stance. He has to refuse to sign with the Bengals for a trade to happen. That's a huge hurdle because, naturally, any player would prefer to choose his destination. But if Stewart is truly upset and refuses to sign, Cincinnati might be forced to negotiate or risk losing him for nothing in the next draft. That's a gamble, and it's a risk they might be willing to take if they believe they can find another young pass rusher or draft one in the upcoming years. So, what's next? Well, we have to keep a close eye on the situation. Rumors will swirl, and the Bengals' front office will be under pressure to make a decision. If they decide to trade Stewart, the Falcons should be the first in line, ready to make an offer. Because this isn't just about filling a need, it's about seizing an opportunity to elevate our team to a new level. Imagine the possibilities with Stewart rushing the passer alongside our existing core, creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks week in and week out. And let's talk about the broader context. The Falcons have been building steadily, focusing on young talent and strategic drafting. The recent moves, including drafting Jalon Walker and trading back into the first round for James Pierce Jr., show that the organization is serious about revamping the defense. They understand that to compete with the top teams in the league, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC South, you need to have a dominant pass rush. Adding a player like Stewart would be a statement move, a signal that Atlanta is not just content with being decent, but is aiming to be a true contender. Now, it's worth mentioning that the NFL offseason is often a waiting game, full of delays and negotiations. Stewart's holdout could last for weeks or even months. But the fact remains, if he remains unsigned and refuses to sign with Cincinnati, the door remains open for a trade. And the Falcons, with their wealth of draft capital and young talent, should be ready to pounce. This kind of move could define our team's trajectory for years to come. Think about it. Having 3 first-round picks over the next few drafts gives us incredible flexibility to build a roster that's young, talented, and hungry. And I know what some of you are thinking. Is it worth it to give up so much for one player? Well, when that player has the potential to be an elite pass rusher, the answer is a resounding yes. The impact a player like Stewart could have on our defense is immense. He could become the cornerstone of our pass rush, transforming the way opponents attack us and giving our defense the edge it's been missing for so long. Now, we have to be realistic. This isn't a done deal yet. The negotiations, the decisions, the actual trade, everything is still in the realm of possibility. But if you're like me, you see the potential here and get excited about what it could mean for the Falcons. We've seen teams make bold moves in the past, and sometimes those moves pay off big time. This could be one of those moments, an opportunity to change the fabric of our team and make a real statement that the Falcons are serious about competing at the highest level. And of course, all eyes are on Stewart. Will he hold out until he gets what he wants? Will Cincinnati cave and trade him? Or will he eventually sign a deal and stay put? The truth is, nobody knows yet. But one thing is for sure, if the Falcons can get involved in this saga, it could turn into one of the most exciting off-season stories for our team in years. Imagine the headlines, the hype, the buzz around Atlanta if we manage to pull this off. It's the kind of move that could energize the fan base and send a message to the rest of the league that we're not here to just compete, we're here to dominate. And speaking of the division, let's remember that the NFC South has been wide open. The Saints are trying to find their footing after a tumultuous few seasons, the Panthers are still rebuilding, and the Buccaneers are in a bit of a transition phase. But the Falcons, we're building something special. We've got a young core, a solid coaching staff, and a clear vision. Adding a player like Stewart to that mix would be the cherry on top, a game changer that could propel us into serious postseason contention. It's not just about making a splash now, it's about setting ourselves up for sustained success over the next several years. And of course, the fans are eager. We've been waiting for a moment like this, a bold move that shows the organization is serious about winning and is willing to take risks for the right talent. It's a chance to turn the page, to elevate the team's competitiveness, and to finally give our defense the kind of pass rush that strikes fear into opponents. The excitement is palpable, and I know many of you are already dreaming about what Stewart could bring to Atlanta's front line. But we also have to be patient. These negotiations take time, and the NFL offseason is full of surprises. Sometimes the best moves happen when you least expect them. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned, and let's hope that the Falcons are in the mix when the dust settles. Because if we can land Stewart, it could be the move that defines our franchise for years to come. It's a bold strategy, but it's one that could pay off handsomely, especially in a division that's ripe for the taking if we get it right. Now, wrapping this all up, I want to emphasize that this is more than just a rumor or a potential trade. It's a reflection of the Falcons' ambitions. We're a team on the rise, and with the right pieces, we can take that next step towards becoming a true powerhouse. The offseason is where legacies are built, and I truly believe that Atlanta has a real shot at making a bold statement this year. Whether it's adding Stewart or making other key moves, the future looks bright, and if this story unfolds the way we hope, it might just be the start of a new era for the Falcons. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. Do you think we should go all in for Stewart? Would you be willing to part with some draft capital for a chance to land such a talent? Or do you think Cincinnati will hold firm and keep him? Whatever your thoughts are, I want to hear them. This is what makes our Falcons family special: our passion, our debates, our shared hope for a brighter future. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Thanks for being here, and as always, go Falcons.